Okay, good. Everybody's good?
Okay, I'm going to put your Yeah? Anyway, you just hold it. Those are blank for now because we have 5 empty spaces. Yeah?
Thank you.
Did you give a bracelet? Yeah, then we know we can count. Yeah, fold it. Fold it. And then I have to cut this. I have to match the same and I need your bracelet.
攞個手帶嚟，
搶你嘅帶啊！
獎我條帶，
搶你黑帶。
紙帶。 接咗佢覆落去。好。
投票，人人投票。
My name is Michael Barnes.
Attention, please, and
have the forum here, so I officially announce the meeting.
Member of Parliament for Willowdale, Mr. C.S. Leung. A good friend of the CCCA, lifetime member, I believe, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, May. It's a pleasure to be introduced by you again. I think we've done this a few times in the past. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and I see there's some former politicians here, and there are many candidates. First of all, we should all celebrate today as the 200th birthday of Sir John A. Macdonald, our first Prime Minister of Canada. And let me share something with you that, because it's predominantly a Chinese audience, that you'll appreciate. If it wasn't for Sir John A. Macdonald, the Chinese immigration into Canada will be much later, because by 1850, when the Americans were building their transcontinental railway, Canada had a similar idea. So what happened was that a lot of the Chinese that came to build that railway in the United States and did the mining in San Francisco moved up to BC, and then from BC they went to work at the railway, the Transcontinental Railway, which is perhaps one of the visionary dreams of Canada. Now let me also share with those of you who are Cantonese speakers that you probably will appreciate this, that the word that the very popular North American sauce, ketchup, comes from Cantonese. And I'll say in Cantonese, 你知道我哋喺 1860幾年嘅時候咧，佢哋佢哋起嗰條鐵路嘅時候咧，佢哋俾我哋華人食嘅嘢咧，係俾我哋爛嘅番茄。咁我哋華人咧就叫番茄叫做茄汁，咁然後咧我喺茄汁裏面咧就加鹽加醋加成咧，就變成咧今日嘅 ketchup。咁所以呢個係嗰個茄汁同 ketchup 嘅來源係咁樣嚟法嘅。I just mentioned in Chinese that the origin of ketchup came from a Cantonese word which literally means tomato juice. And what it was that when they were building the railway, a lot of the rotten vegetable were blended into the making of ketchup, and that's how it happened. So the Cantonese word for ketchup or for tomato sauce is ketchup, and that's how it went into the English vocabulary as ketchup. So there you go. There's a bit of trivia, and this is a unintended consequence of bringing in Chinese labor in 1860, and we now have, you know, it's all blended into the Canadian cultural mosaic. Now, I should say that although I am your Member of Parliament, your ethnic Chinese Member of Parliament from the Greater Toronto area, but I'm certainly not the first one. The first one was Douglas Jones around 1957 in Vancouver, also a Conservative MP, and then since then we have Inky Mak, and we also have Michael Chung, and we also have Alice Wong and Wei Young, and so on. All these were, you know, they precede me, but I am the first in the Greater Toronto area in a very urban riding, and I see many friends here from where I live in Richmond Hill that certainly supported me in my bid for Member of Parliament in 2008. Let me share with you some statistics and some importance and why there is a need for the Canadian Chinese Conservative Association. Number one, Chinese immigration in Canada started in 1850s. So we have over 150 plus years of experience in Canada. Number two, our population right now at 1.5 million represents about 3% of Canada. After English and French, the Chinese language is the third most spoken language in Canada. Our numbers at 1.5 million are more than the Jewish, more than the Italian, and more than the Germans, which are the other major ones. But certainly after the third generation, I think we're all Canadians. But those who maintain a mother tongue of speaking their ethnic language, by far the largest, is still Chinese. Now, besides that, the total investment brought in by Chinese immigration since World War II is, for the province of Ontario alone, is over $10 billion. Now, when you consider the fact that Canada's annual expenditure is $200 billion, $10 billion is a significant representation of the amount of financial contribution. Since the Conservative government has been in power from 2006, we have increased immigration on an annual basis from 200,000 to 260,000 last year, and the target for 2015 is 280,000. Out of that, about 40 to 45% are from Asiatic countries. That is, but the other part, the other largest immigrant group are South Asians, and they also represent about another 40%. So our influence, our contribution is quite dramatic. And since 2012 and 2013, Chinese students in Canada, visas issued to Chinese students from China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia has increased from 40,000 to over 110,000, 120,000. So those are some of the statistics that you should recognize and feel proud of. And also the fact that because of that influence, it is necessary that we, this group, and try to promote, elect, and nurture and train the next generation of Chinese representative to represent the whole broader spectrum of Canadians. You know, you are now, by the time the second generation comes around, you are truly Canadians. You fit into our cultural diversity. You fit into our cultural mosaic. You know, you should not be like me. For the first 20 years, I still feel like I was a guest in this country. You know, although I was a citizen in 1976, but for the longest time I feel like I was a guest in this country. You should not feel that. You should, you know, our activity should include participation in the mainstream. Our activity should include, how do I put it bluntly? We should put it in, let's play the game that has been set down, the political game that has set down for us for over 200-year history, actually, sorry, 150 since Confederation. And we will soon be enjoying our 150th year in 2017 at the 150th anniversary of Canada. So for that, I am particularly pleased to see that this evening that we're not just represented by ethnic Chinese. We have other cultural groups here representing us, and it also spells the third important thing about why Canada should embrace an Asia-Pacific strategy. Asia-Pacific strategy that includes Canada and South Asia and Southeast Asia. Asia will be our largest trading partner, second to the United States, and they will soon surpass the United States because the Chinese economy will soon exceed that. The combined economy of China and India and Southeast Asia will soon exceed that of the United States. So we need to look across the Pacific. That's one thing. Secondly, our largest immigration will come over the next generation, will come from East Asia, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Thirdly, our capital investment will be coming from East Asia, China, Southeast Asia, and India. So it is for those reasons that Canada must develop an Asia-Pacific strategy. We must embrace that this is our next largest trading bloc. So those are, and having said all that, there's that importance that your participation in the political process is important. Hang on. 嗱，如果你哋英文唔係話咁流利嘅話咧，你同我嘅秘書 Jane 講，我哋有機會喺辦公室咧，或者我再同你講過。我希望你们那些英文没有那么流利的话，可以讲如果是听广东话或者是听国语的话，可以到我的办公室在Jane 是我的他是我的这个多伦多的办公室的秘书，我每个星期大概是有4天在渥太华，有3天在多伦多的，所以你们绝对是有机会可以跟我在多伦多聊天的。And unfortunately, my Punjabi, my Urdu is no good. I'm not like Joe Lee. He's much better than I am. And my Farsi is very rudimentary. So I'll end by saying, Moshakaram, merci. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
National anthem. All rise, please.
Stand on guard for thee.
have minutes in front of you. I need the mover and the seconder. Oh, Alex. Alex, you have? And the seconder, Bill. Thank you. All in favor? Thank you, Gary. Matter arising from the last annual general meeting. Anything? No? My name is Eric Webb.
Somebody is going to start the tally card. We're going to go each one.
Good evening and welcome everybody to come to our CCCA AGM and dinner. I just been informed I need to add to our national chair because he's absent tonight to have a kind of recap for last year what we did during the last 2014. And so I don't have any preparation, nothing, no script, nothing. So I just recapped like since the January 2014, after our 31st anniversary gala kicked off and Century Palace restaurant, and then following in the middle of the year provincial elections, a lot of our CCCA members, directors, and the board members are helping out for all different kind of ridings to help out for the by-election and elections. And then close to the fall, around summertime to the month of October, we all know that throughout Canada, our municipal elections are happening during that time. So a lot of our members, and also some of our directors, also including our national chair, Mr. Jin Chiu, and some of the directors run for some of the municipal elections. And on the top of that, a lot of our directors are helping out different campaign for all the candidates. Of course, including our good friends, Mr. John Tory as well. I know a lot of our directors and our friends are helping out for the campaign as well. So after that will be a little bit like a cooling down period for everybody, and then we are waiting for our Christmas holiday. And actually I just came back from holiday from Hong Kong, spending my time with my kids and family back to Hong Kong. That was my kids' first time spending a Christmas holiday. So after the holiday, we will prepare for that AGM dinner, and that's what I can recap for last year, what we did for this 2014. And hopefully we had a much better year, like 2014. At least we don't have that cold or ice storm like 2013 winter time. Hopefully the better weather, just like our forecast in 2015, same as the forecast of the future and the path of that we are going to walk through in the near futures. 2015 hopefully is a better year for CCCA as well as everybody. Oh, and also I take this chance and wish everybody Happy New Year and good health to you and your family. Thank you very much.
Larry mentioned that about this. We have the elections and by-elections, federal by-elections and provincial elections and municipal elections. That's why we, as a CCCA, our major job to do is to help the candidate translate their English pamphlet to Chinese. This is what our major. And we have some writers here, writing columns. So stand up, the writers. Our writers, Bill Wu, Tao Pei, and Nikki, Tao Pei. Huh? We will. The incoming national chair will give you a plaque later. And that's all my report.
I think everybody has their financial report on their table. Actually, from on November 24th, 2013, we have a balance of $13,386.80. And up to November 16, 2014, the bank balance is $15,131.03. From the financial report, we can see our last year gala is the biggest event, and we got ticket sales of 23,811, and the restaurant cost is 18,451.70. Also, I got most update today of the current bank balance of today is $16,681.03. That's the difference is the new membership we got. So yeah, that's my report.
So I need the mover and seconder for the past list report. So I see Alex Huang and Judy Zhu. Okay, Judy Zhu, Alex Huang mover and Judy Zhu seconder. Alex Huang, you move. Okay, Alex Huang move. And the seconder, Hen Liang. Are you in favor of the motion? Thank you. Yes, unanimously.
Very simple one. There was a mistake in the Constitution in Article 9.3, 9.4, 9.5. There's a duplicated 9.3. So I'd like a motion from the floor to change Article 9.3. There's a second one to 9.4. Article that currently is 9.4 to 9.5. An article that is currently 9.5 to 9.6. So can I get a motion from the floor just to make that change? David Cohen, thank you, and a seconder. Andrew Keys, thank you. All in favor? Stravo? Thank you very much. Okay, so that's been changed, and there was just, that was basically the only thing that we changed in this year, just to say that there was a mistake, a typo. So thank you very much for that. And at this time, I would also like to acknowledge that we have a riding president from Scarborough. Scarborough North EDA, that's Anil Jetty.
Please stand up.
Please stand up and acknowledge yourself. I wanted to say that being a riding president is often a very thankless position. Like, you know, you always have to spend so much time fundraising and preparing for elections. So thank you for your time and volunteerism. Mississauga.
I'm the riding president, provincial riding president, Mississauga East, Cookville.
Okay, Mississauga East, Cookville for the
Ontario.
Ontario.
Riding president here.
Actually, I'm two riding presidents. I'm the riding president federally for Toronto Centre and the riding president for the PCs in Trinity Spadina. So.
Chinese Community Center of Ontario, and it's an umbrella organization. They have 41 organizations, and she's the president. Any other person in the secondary, so we can start here. Now bamboo. And the secondary. President of the Scarborough North EDA, and he has
Congratulations to Alex, and I'm very proud to be part of this Alex team, and we are from Scarborough North supporting him. So big round of applause for him. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
And how about we have a picture? Johnson. And I just want to wish everybody In fact, I wanted to congratulate Alex Yuan for his doing a successful event today, and also just want to congratulate the Canadian Conservative Association for all the work you're doing on behalf of the community. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Votes cast, so well done everyone for showing up. And I don't think I need to really go through the numbers unless somebody wishes to scrutineer the actual ballots, which I kept. But the winners for national chair, it's Alex Yuan. For national vice chair, we have Annie Chan. For national treasurer, it's Alex Kwong. And central co-chair, Kenny Chui. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. My name is Mei Chow, by the way. And so at this time, I'd like to call everybody up. There were several acclaimed positions, including Eric Wen was acclaimed as National Treasurer, National Secretary. So if I can call up everybody who was acclaimed as a director and all of the new officers, if we can come on top of the stage so we can have a group picture. I can give them to you if you want. Okay, for the national chair, Alex Yuan got 150 votes. And Jin Sue got 5. Annie Chan got 137, and Larry Lau got 14. Alex Kwong got 137, Dick Yu got 15, Kenny Chui got 145, and Jim Kwan got 7.
Chair for the association. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who come to vote. Today is Sunday, and many of you have to work tomorrow. And thank you again so much for coming. I guess God is warming up the weather for just for today and being freezing up tomorrow. So we just lucked out. Being as the chair for the Chinese Canadian Conservative Association, our focus is to educate Chinese Canadians for our conservative values. In Canada, there's about 1.5 million Chinese Canadians living in Canada, and it's a huge job to pass along our conservative value. And as we know, 2015 is the federal election. I mean, as I said, this is not an easy job. This is actually this is not the end of tonight. It's the beginning of tonight. There's a ton of work. We need you all come together to help us to make more of our friends who live in your riding and to come to vote for our Conservative Party. And first, I want to thank so many people from all different ridings, and people from Ottawa, people from GTA, I must say, different EDA from Richmond Hill, from Markham, Unionville, from Markham Thornhill, from Scarborough, and also I got my quite old friend And I want him back. His name is Joe McKinnon. Joe, can you show, stand up and show? And actually, Joe, I need you back to the board. And I know you have done an amazing job in the past. And I will be talking to some of you. And I want a lot of good people to join for the CCCA. And we have to make a difference. I want to thank you for those who actually run for CCCA as the director and different position. CCCA formed 30-some years ago, and we have two founders for the association, which is Tom Penn and Eric Wen. Tom, Eric. From the last 30-some years, we have a tremendous contribution from these two gentlemen. The founder of the organization is Ying Hope. He passed away a few years ago, and of course, there's a lot of history that we can learn from that. Most importantly is with this upcoming board, existing elected executive and also directors, and I will need to be speaking with you. That means is you don't have a life anymore. For those who served with me back in a few years back when I was a chair, and you know what I mean. When I'm the chair, I mean I want to do work and I want to have results. And Kenny Choi knows about that. And many of the new board members who you have not worked with me, and very soon you will share notes with the past directors. But most importantly is I want to thank you and everyone. Of course, we welcome you to join the association at any one time, and you can bring more. But most importantly is we want you to join us in our subcommittee and in any committee that you feel comfortable. To make anything work is not me, it's not any of the directors, it's all of us together. So, and again, I want to thank you and have a great evening, and I'm looking forward to see and speak to you. Thank you.
Spectacular. This shows that the CCCA has a great spirit in it, and I hope it continues, and if everybody here tonight can continue to show their support for the CCCA and also the Conservative Party, it would be greatly appreciated. Anything you can do, volunteer, attend for support, anything you can do will be greatly appreciated and will certainly help out in the next federal election. So, it's nice to meet everybody here tonight. It's my honor, and we'll certainly be here to assist the public and the community any way we can. Okay, thank you. My wife, my lopa, is Kitty. I don't know if anyone's seen the commercial on Fairchild, but the lady speaking in my commercial is my lopa. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Thanks. You know, out of his positions, I mean, thank you, Joe, and thank you so many people, friends. We want good people to serve on the board. We need a lot of good people to serve on the subcommittee and committees. And I want to acknowledge one person here. Her name is Jane Ang. Jane? Jane, actually, you want to know her, okay? You want to know her. She works for CS Lounge, okay? Of course, a lot of people who phone CS office not because they live in the riding, but again, Jane is a friend of CCCA and also a long-time supporters. Jane lives in Richmond Hill, just like me, and we have a lot of good friends from Richmond Hill EDA here. We have the CFO from the Richmond Hill, that leader, my neighbor here, and my Jewish friend, David Cohen. And a lot of other EDA friends are here, and there's also a few candidates, nominee candidates are here, Jobson, and a few of his friends are actually sitting at the table, and if you live in Markham, Thornhill, they want to know you, and if you live in Scarborough, they also want to know you because they need to get votes from you. But most importantly is we are preparing for the federal election coming, and we need to get election readiness. So we want to keep in touch, and definitely we need everybody's support to make a difference. Thank you.
đi. Có tiền
Meeting. We have Bill Wu, second by Kenny. Okay. Any opposed? Agree? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.